Africa, a land of vast horizons, untamed beauty, and relentless rhythm. From the thundering roar of Victoria Falls to the sweeping deserts and vibrant coastlines of South Africa, this is part 2 of a journey that reaches far beyond the map. From here we headed south, across ancient lands and modern cities, through Namibia's red sand dunes, Botswana's wildlife havens, and South Africa's dramatic landscapes, until we reach the edge of the continent, Cape Town. Expect real stories, raw moments, and unfiltered adventure. This isn't just a road trip, it's a passage through culture, contrasts, and connections. From roadside meals to starlit camps, from bustling markets to moments of stillness, Africa invites you to feel, to question, and to grow. Welcome to Africa Unfiltered, Part 2. Stick around to the end, where we give honest reviews of the trip, reveal wildlife and camping experiences, local food, culture, and people, as well as behind-the-scenes moments and lessons learnt. In Part 1, we travel from Zanzibar to Victoria Falls. We spoke about life on the road, the cooking, the cleaning, the shared chores that make an overland safari feel like a rolling community. If you missed that, I invite you to Part 1 to see how the pulse of the trip begins. But now, we shift gears. In the 2 days we spent in Victoria Falls, we said goodbye to some fellow travellers and welcomed new ones. We also took part in 2 extra tours outside of the Intrepid itinerary, and then the adventure begins.
This is another wonderful trip, starting all the way from Vic Falls, heading all the way to Cape Town, the mother city. The trip takes roughly 3 weeks. If you're here for the quintessential wild side of Africa, this is again your trip. I know most people have heard of the Bushmen of Namibia, the Sand people. If you're here for the Etosha National Park, if you're here for the perfect Acadia, the Delta, this is the perfect trip for you. So guys, welcome on board. Strap on and enjoy your way to Cape Town.
Botswana, where silence speaks louder than words, and the wild moves to its own timeless rhythm. We were about to step into a world untouched. We didn't just come to see wildlife, we came to feel it. And Chobe National Park delivers in ways we never imagined. Home to the largest elephant population on Earth, and we were right in the thick of it. Chobe throws it all at you. 1 minute we're drifting past hippos, the next, holding our breath as lions emerge from the bush. This isn't a safari, it's a full-blown adventure, and we're just getting started. We signed up for an optional night safari, hoping for a few bonus animal sightings. But wow, did we get more than we bargained for. From the very start, we were thrown right into the thick of the action. We were so close. It felt like we were on their safari. One unexpected highlight was the African jacana bird. Turns out Dad does all the hard work, sitting on the eggs and raising the chicks. And just when we thought it couldn't get any better, nature served us a postcard-worthy sunset on the way back home. In all, not a bad way to wrap up a wild evening. Intrepid tours have a knack of uncovering hidden gems, and Planet Baobab is definitely one of them. Sure, we could have camped under the stars, but this time we went for a bit more comfort. These traditional huts are built in local style with thick mud walls, thatched roofs, vibrant murals, and cosy patchwork quilts. And all of it set beneath the towering baobab trees that give this place its name.
We're going to the temporary bar. The original bar was burned down. Nice little powwow area. Hello. The ablution block at the campsite. Pretty nice. Couple showers, couple toilets. We got a room, so it didn't matter, but yeah, clean.
As we walked back to the truck, there was another. This thing again is incredible. We swapped our usual 4x4 truck for a smaller safari ride and set off early, cold, dusty, and curious. Our first stop, one of the world's strangest and oldest trees, some over 2,000 years old. They can hold over 120,000 litres of water inside their trunk. With branches like roots, it looks like it's growing upside down. Legend says the gods planted it that way. Its fruit, a natural superfood packed with vitamin C. The baobab isn't just a tree. It's a water tank, a food source, a survivor, and a storyteller, all in one.
The meerkats, they prefer these open areas. Reason being that because they have too many enemies.
Thanks to Namibia's new visa rules, we had to change plans, one entry only. So we made it count by chasing down some of the desert's weirdest little creatures. Meerkats. They stand guard like pros, live in mobs, and take teamwork to a whole new level. Anything that was a highlight?
The meerkats. Definitely the meerkat.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
They're one of my favorite animals, so I feel really blessed to have been able to see them. Especially because it was one of the animals that I asked Mambo, that I really wanted to see it. And I knew that in the original tour plan, it was not possible. So I really love that we managed to have the detour to see the meerkats.
Here's a river that we'll soon be going down and across to an island where we'll spend the night. We were warned not to go within 5 meters of the edge of it because of the fear that there's lots of crocs along here.
Okavango Delta. I'm trying to find our island. Maybe it's down here somewhere. Camp is up ahead. There we go. This is camp for the night. Maybe. We have our campsite. An island in the middle of the delta. Camp is set up.
And we've found the endangered Singaporean quokka making its nest. It's taken almost 1 year to make this one up and possibly start a family. What a great nest! The first time I saw the Okavango Delta, I actually forgot to breathe for a moment. It's that beautiful. Before we go any further, it's important to share a few facts about this incredible place. This isn't just a river delta in Botswana. It's a living, breathing world of its own. Hippos here ain't just lounging. They're carving hippo highways through the water that elephants happily use as shortcuts. Speaking of elephants, those big ears, they're not just for show. They're built-in air conditioning. And their trunks, more muscles than our whole body. And yes, they snorkel with them. Even the termites get into the action, building skyscrapers of mud with natural air conditioning that would impress an architect. Out here, every creature is part of the design, and every day writes a new story.
Little baby croc just sitting on the papyrus. They're getting in the Makoros for a nice little boat ride. Vic's gonna go and I'm gonna stay back. Very muddy. Already had one slip.
After a cold, soggy night, huddled in the tent, I nervously climbed into the Makoro, carefully balancing to keep rainwater out of my clothes and avoid tipping over. At first it felt like the last thing I wanted to do, but I couldn't have been more wrong. Gliding through the Okavango Delta felt like slipping into nature's hidden world. Narrow reed-lined channels, still water mirroring the grey sky, and wildlife watching in silence. Once carved from giant sausage trees, these boats now use fiberglass to save the forest.
This is our room. This is our view. Riverfront. Very nice. This is the Bongo River in the Okavango Delta, Botswana. Hello, Mr. Crocodile.
Start the car.
Sunrise. Oh shit, there's a crocodile.
I'm just about to point out where we are exactly.
Here. So this here extends past over here, and which is about where this guy is. That's where we are.
This is what happens when you have a couple of days of rain and all of a sudden there's sunshine. So you have to air the tents. Even though we are upgrading today at the Rainbow Lodge, we're still putting up some tents to dry out. And this is our campsite right on the water. There's quite frequently signposted crocs and hippos. I'm hoping to find some. This is our basic upgrade from camping. It has a fan, has an ensuite as well. The swimming pool. Jason, I'm going to go at the moment. That's the only place you can get Wi-Fi.
And it's made locally in Namibia. It's great. Hi, I'm Danica. I'm from Roy's Terrace Camp. We are situated about 55 kilometers from Grootfontein up on the North Road to Rundu. Here at Roy's, we offer about 15 bungalows for accommodation and a lovely campsite. We also have a very nice swimming pool and a lekker bar. We also welcome and enjoy our favorite little animals that are also like little family to us here at Royce, which includes the Tamara tic-tics, the bush babies, and the babbler birds. Hope you come and visit. Bye!
And they're getting dinner ready. Prep team. Got the chef back there washing the lettuce.
When I first set out, chasing that relentless pull of wanderlust, I thought each new place would make the world feel smaller. But the more I travelled, the bigger it became. Endless horizons, countless paths to walk. To be honest, Namibia wasn't even on my map, and I couldn't have been more wrong. Namibia, from ancient sand hunter and gatherers to German colonisation and decades of apartheid, Namibia's history is one of survival and resilience. Gaining independence in 1990, it's now a land of vast deserts, wildlife, and an unshakable spirit. Etosha National Park isn't just another stop on the map. It's raw Africa at full throttle. One moment you're sharing the road with a leopard or a giraffe, and the next, a lion steps into view. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Come with me as we dive into one of Africa's greatest wilderness adventures. The open 4x4 makes it all so much more real. No glass, no metal buffer. Just you, the animals, and the raw African bush. It's not just a game drive. It feels like you're part of the landscape, even if it's just for a moment. And in the distance, the vast Etosha salt plains shimmers, adding to the sense of timeless wilderness. These are the upgradable chalets at our campsite. Unfortunately, they were all booked.
Sunset at Etosha National Park.
A big day ahead, a long part of the 1,500-kilometre Namibian coastline. It's wild and hauntingly beautiful. Here, the burning Namib Desert collides with the icy Atlantic, a dramatic clash of sea and sand that has claimed countless ships over the centuries. What if I told you there's a beach in Namibia with more seals and people in the country? Cape Cross is chaos, with over 200,000 Cape fur seals packed onto one beach. And the noise is deafening, the smell unforgettable. And in November, the sands turn black with newborn pups, where bulls clash in bloody battles for harems, and pups practice surfing waves like kids at play. It's noisy, raw, brutal, and unlike anywhere else on Earth. Midway through our overland journey, we came across Swakopmund, the so-called Matterhorn of Namibia, and the moment it rose out of the desert, we instantly understood why. Arriving late in the afternoon and leaving the next morning felt far too short. This place had an aura that begged us to stay longer.
Whatever you see now is part of a peneplain. Peneplain, these are remnants of a mountain that was at one time huge, Yes, so they consider this to be, even they call them the Mara complex. So all this is a Pluton. A Pluton is an intrusion, magmatic intrusion. And then what happens is it solidifies, cools, nice and slow. We end up with this. Over the years, they say this formed some 400 million years ago. And then, forces of nature, erosion, of course, weathering, acted upon the land, water and wind.
The desert meets the sea here, and this is where we swapped the roar of lions for something completely different. The drive out felt endless, just heat, dust, and dunes that seemed to go on forever. With every kilometre, the landscape got stranger, more like another planet than Africa. And then, out of nowhere, Swakopmund, a German colonial town that somehow ended up on the edge of the Namib Desert. You'll find beer halls and bratwurst right next to craft stalls and desert guides. It feels out of place, but it works. The town's not here by accident. It was built off the minerals in the desert, diamonds scattered in the sand, uranium buried deep below. But Swakopmund isn't just stuck in history. It feels like a frontier, caught between the ocean and the desert, where survival has always meant adapting. And somehow, life manages to survive here, in the most unlikely of places.
Happy birthday to you. May the light of the Lord.
Smoked amaretto old-fashioned, and I have a porn star martini with a prosecco shot, and Dick has a boring tequila beer and a shot of Fireball.
We left Swakopmund and drove straight into the Namib. Here, the endless gravel plains give way to the rocky mountain passes. Then glowing red dunes stretching to the horizon. Somewhere out there we crossed the Tropic of Capricorn, just a lonely sign in the middle of nowhere. A few hours later we again stopped. This time we stopped at Solitaire Bakery for their famous apple pie. And after that it was off to Sesram, deep in the Namib National Park. By late afternoon we rolled into camp, set up our tents, and grabbed a well-deserved drink at the bar. And on this rustic intrepid travel trip, where everyone helps out, join the guides and fellow travellers to prepare the night's meal beneath the vast, endless desert sky. The Namib Desert, home to Sesaple's towering red dunes, and the haunting beauty of Devile, where blackened trees stand frozen untouched for centuries. Like the Kalahari and Sahara, the Namib lies 30 degrees north and south latitude, close to the Tropic of Capricorn and Cancer, where global air circulation leaves the land dry and rainless. The sun's heat drives warm air upwards at the equator, but by the time it descends here, it's dry, creating high-pressure zones and desert landscapes. Add the cold Benguela current off the Atlantic, which cools the air and limits evaporation, and you got one of the driest parts on Earth. Near the ocean, the dunes are younger and paler, but inland, time and oxidation paints them deeper red. These are ancient giants, shaped by wind and age. We fell asleep that night beneath a sky bursting with stars, with no idea of what the morning would bring us face to face with one of the world's oldest cultures, the San people of Namibia. The San, often called Bushmen, have lived in southern Africa for tens of thousands of years, mastering survival in the harsh deserts with incredible skill, from tracking animals to finding water where it seems impossible, and passing wisdom down through the generations. What struck us most wasn't just their skill, but their voices. The San speak in a beautiful clicking language, every word sharp, musical, alive, like the desert itself speaking back. Standing there surrounded by this endless sand and silence, we felt small and humble.
And it was open since 2004. The aim of the Living Museum is to fight against poverty and to keep the culture alive. Down there in the village, it's where we're having a school from grade 1 up to grade 7. So down there we are in the modern village, and here it's where we can show how our forefathers was living in the home.
No, Miss and I thought of a local Satavako Pambis and Doko Tuikapi.
That is actually how the traditional houses are look like, because in the old days the Bushman people were called nomadic people. For a plant, the one which we are getting poison for.
As a Pacosi, the Tadzakona takes a good to get touch of gums that the sweet takes why you got cheese to get touch with the tiles.
Like now, if the first rain was started, it was having some new leaves. After new leaf, there comes the down beetle will come on top of it. Latex, after latex, it will breed a worm. That worm fall down 5 centimeters under the ground. Then it will be in a caterpillar, in a cock. In winter season, it's a time where the hunters will come to dig the worms out. Also apply the poison on the arrows. Cut from your hands. You affect yourself 5 minutes. From this position from giraffe downwards, except elephant. For giraffe, it will take you 2 days or 3 days for tracking it. And oryx, elands, 2 days, kudu 1 day, and small antelopes, it's only an hour when it will be there. But for a giraffe, if you go, it's about 60, 70 kilometers. Yeah, you cannot reach back to the village. What can you do? It's not fun. I'm hearing this was. In the old days, they light the fire and burn the bushes. If the people see the smoke, that's a signal. With their nose, they can follow until they're going to reach that place.
Hi everyone, my name is Lynn
I am John.
and we are from Singapore. This is a long-awaited trip for us. We're in Africa.
Is there anything that you considered to be a highlight?
For me is to get to see the Big Five for sure. And what I don't expect is that there's such beautiful landscape in the parts that we go.
From Big Four all the way to Cape Town is more on sceneries and rock formation, and quite a good trip, fruitful trip, I would say.
Yes, it's absolutely worth coming over here despite the long rides and a bit of the bumpy road. But I'm sure that it will get improved in time. But overall, we are very happy with the trip and the people in the bus too.
Look at the landfall here. How many Kenyan species? One. So we have one big one, one big one, the one on top, and then you have a small one, the youngest one, down there. You see that?
And Andy,
And I'm Chris.
and we've joined the trip in Vic Falls, and we're finishing in Cape Town. So that was 22 days. It's been a trip of two halves for us. The first part, up until probably the north of Namibia, was more about the animals, and then from there on, it's been all about the scenery. So that for us was the main part. Yeah, with the scenery, and it's been absolutely stunning. And as far as the truck, it's been a perfect truck.
Perfect truck traveling. It's been interesting getting all your routines organised, your teats up and down, and getting up early and seeing sunsets and sunrises. It's just been spectacular.
Has there been sort of one time where you could say, wow, this is pretty impressive?
I think for me, it was Fitzcop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sleeping on the boulders.
Yep.
And watching the stars. That whole camp experience.
You get away from the town, you get out there, and you really feel like you're somewhere special.
It's been pretty amazing, this trip. A lot of pluses, a lot of minuses, but overall, one of probably the better experiences I've had. It's worth coming to Africa for sure. I really loved seeing the cheetahs. I didn't think I'd see so many, and just seeing their bodies walk across the plain and chase things was just very, very cool.
Leaving Fish River Canyon, the landscape turned into dust and emptiness, when suddenly a shanty town of vineyard workers appeared, right beside endless green grapevines. These seemed to be table grapes for export, not part of the local winery. By afternoon we hit the Felix Unite campsite on the Orange River. Stunning African-style cabanas, perfect grounds, everything screaming comfort. We thought this was our night of luxury, but no. Sold-out cabanas got the comfort, we got the campsite. And here's a funny twist. Felix and his mate Carlos started the first canoe trips on this river back in 1986. 2 guys, a wild river, and 0 plans. Today, their little adventure has grown into a riverside haven. Dennis and I decided to treat ourselves to something extra on this trip. A short kayaking adventure down the nearby Orange River. It wasn't part of the original plan, but honestly, how could we resist?
So from Vic Falls to Cape Town, my highlight was Spitskope. I think it's how would you call it? Like a rock, lunar area? I know, rocky. It was really cool because I slept under the stars. Cool to be the experience like on top of a mountain or a boulder with no tent and just in a sleeping bag where a scorpion can get you, and then looking at the stars and then looking at the moon was really nice. So highlight.
Do you feel as though you've accomplished something overall? And
yeah, I didn't think I would ever camp so much. So that's cool. And I never put up a tent before, so that was like a learning experience too. And I didn't think I could camp so much, so that was cool. And seeing so many countries in a couple months is definitely easier with a tour group. And like all the transportation and all the food's been taken care of, so that makes it a lot easier, where you don't have to figure out all those details. So yeah.
What the best part of our trip from Vic Falls to Cape Town? For me, that would be the Okavango Delta in Botswana, where we got the Makoro canoes, and then we're kind of rowing along, peeking through the tall grasses and just all the lily pads on the side with the potential of spotting a crocodile or a hippo. Just being in that kind of grove just makes it kind of exciting. And also for me would be the sleeping under the stars on a rock at Spitzkoppe.
For me, I would say much more a relaxed trip, more time spent in places was very good. South Africa was really beautiful, but I would say the highlights for me is the also sleeping overnight in the rocks in Spitzkoppe and then spending a surreal 3 days in what was really a little German town in Swakopmund.
Allow me to take this opportunity to, as a tradition, to wrap up the whole trip. I've come some of you a long way. This is the last night you have as a group adventure. I always say that each group has a personality. Each group has, a character.
Because we've travelled as a family. We have worked together. We've enjoyed together. We've had minor grumbles, and you have navigated them as our leader, as our friends, as people that we admire and appreciate for your time, your energy, your patience, and your ability to make such a process so simple for us. So that term, friend, brother, sister, has become greater to us to its original meaning. You are more than what you probably recognize. That you are more to us as the people that have led us through this, the people that have guided us, and the brilliant people that have brought us knowledge and patience to this whole journey. Thank you very much, gentlemen. You have been superb.
Looking back, this was one of the wildest journeys I've ever taken. Most of us agreed. The wildlife, the people, the raw beauty. It was all incredible. When we all shared our favourite and not so favourite moments, I realised something. We all travel the same dusty roads, the same heat, the same unexpected surprises, yet each of us walked away with a completely different story. That's Africa. It doesn't just give you memories, it leaves a mark you'll carry forever.